welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike. This is the Diesel Ranch, and we finally have another truck video. I know these videos are kind of few and far between. I wish I could make more of them, but sometimes you run out of things to do on a second gen. But I've got a few extra videos lined up for the second gen. So today we've got a pretty exciting video. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick glimpse real quick of what we got going on for today's video. So we are actually heading into work, but right after work we are going to finally put some tires on these old 17s. This will be the first set of mud tires that I have on these 4th gen 17-inch wheels. So I'm excited to see what it looks like. These tires are great, but being a 5-speed and only have 410 gears, 70 miles an hour on the highway. 70 miles an hour on the highway is at 2,500 RPM, and that just doesn't work for me. So, all right, you guys, as you can see, this is not a second gen. We borrowed Gage's truck because he took my truck up to the shop to get started on the wheels and tire swap. So we're about to be at the shop, and we're gonna get her done. But this is the 7.3 that's on my page as well, that red 7.3. Such a sweet truck. Of course, guys, as usual, Savage 4x4 hooking us up. All right, guys, so the last clip that you saw was a few days ago. Today's Tuesday, that was Friday. Actually, no, sorry, that was Thursday. So basically what happened is we went up to Savage, we got the tires all mounted up, and he had some customer work in there too, so we kind of didn't really get to film. We were just trying to get the stuff done. That way we didn't take up too much of his time and his machines. So we just tried to kind of get in there and get out, but I got the tires on the truck, and it's awesome. So without further ado, I will show you guys the new tires on the truck. All right, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of montage, a little B-roll. So I realized I hadn't told you guys anything about these tires. I used to have 35s on the stock 16-inch dually wheels, and I ended up getting rid of those and sold them and traded them for some 4th gen 17s dually wheels. So these are off a 2014 Ram 3500 dually, and they had stock tires on them, stock 235s, and they were good for then, but not good for the long term. This truck being a manual 5-speed with 410 gears, your max speed on the highway is probably right at 70 miles an hour, 5th gear, and you're sitting at 2,500 RPM, so that wasn't the best. So that wasn't my favorite part. I like to be able to do at least 75 and not be screaming the RPMs. The tires, so these are Toyo Open Country MTs. They're 35 by 1250 by 17. So I really wasn't, I was and I wasn't in the market for tires. I just kind of stumbled upon this deal, and it was really too good to pass up. So the guy had these on his Jeep. He had the 4 rear on his Jeep for daily driving, and then this front tire here was his spare. And this thing is literally brand new. I'll try to show you guys here. It is very, very good tread. So he had 5 tires altogether. So obviously a spare and 4 rear. So I put the 4 on the rear because they were all equal tread there, and I'll show you guys those too. They were probably 80%, 70% tread. I mean, they are in really, really good shape too. So long story short, I ended up getting those 5 tires, 4 at 70%, 80%, and the front being brand new, 100% tread. I got them all for $350. And if you know Toyos, that's the cost of one of these guys. So that was really too hard to pass up. And then I had a little bit of a dilemma. This is a dually. I need 6 tires. Where am I gonna find another brand new Toyo for the front? And obviously I could buy a brand new Toyo for the front, but me being cheap, or call it cheap, call it affordable, I wasn't quite ready to go spend $350. You know, even if I did, it would still be a great deal because, you know, I've won with $350 into the other 5, so that's $700. You got a full set of 6 tires. That's not bad at all. So I just searched on the Facebook Marketplace and came up with this. So this is a Turo Trailblade MT. And I know I might get some hate comments about being a Turo and, you know, they're bad, they're this or that. But I mean, it was a brand new tire, exact same size I needed, and the tread is extremely similar to the Toyo. So it's gonna look basically the same to the untrained naked eye. And I got this tire, brand new, still had the nipples all over it, never touched the road, for $100. So, you know, and if I end up having issues with it, so be it. You know, I'll replace it at that time, but for now, it's the exact same size, everything the same as the Toyos. Would I like to have 6 Toyos? Absolutely. But was it in the budget? Not really. So basically, all 6 tires, 2 being brand new, 4 in the rear being 80%, all for $450. And it didn't cost anything to mount them because I used my buddy's shop and we mounted them ourselves with his tire machine. I just had to pay him for weight, so it was $15. But the truck is back to looking good. There's just something, sorry, let me get my shadow out of the way. There is just something about 35s on a level dually. All right, so one more thing I need to address while we're at the back of the truck here is, now I'm probably gonna get a lot of, maybe some hate in the comments from the dually guys, but as you can see, there's no space in between these tires. Now, my opinion, I think it's a common misconception. Most people will swear by, hey, you need a spacer in between, those tires can't touch at all or they're gonna explode. Well, me personally, I've ran multiple sets like this, and I have a lot of friends that have run sets like this, towing daily and run them to their bald tires. So what I have learned is the tires need to be touching 100% of the time, no ifs, ands, or buts, completely touching or not touching at all ever. So in my experience, I used to run 285 70/16 on this truck, which is a 33 1250. And in my experience, those tires with no spacer in between would touch at the very bottom where the truck is loaded and the tire squishes out a little bit. They would touch there, and that's not good because when those tires come together, you can get things in between them. They can cause, not necessarily friction, but they can get warm, they can get hot, and they can cause the sidewall of the tire to fail. So that is the reason for that. Now that's on a 285 because they don't touch at the top. So now this being a 35 or a 315 70/17, they are going to touch 100% of the time. You have to, in order to get these on, you have to completely deflate the outside tire and then put the lug nuts on, bolt it together, and then fill up the tire to proper air pressure, which on this truck, I'm running 45 PSI in all the tires. I think actually probably 50 or 49 in the rear 4. But as you can see, they are the exact same height tire. You know, there's no difference. There's nothing weird. The tires, I just drove here. The tires are not abnormally hot at all. They're actually pretty cool to the touch, and I just drove a half hour home from work. But yeah, so I figured I would just say something because I'm sure the comments are gonna get Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get roasted in the comments about this. But yeah, in my experience, you can run no spacer if they are going to touch 100% of the time. And trust me, these things touch 100% of the time. It is so hard, even with the tire deflated, it is so hard to get the first 2 lug nuts started on this thing. So you need a friend to do it with you. So, you know, I've towed with this. I've towed with this setup. I've towed with my last set of 35s without a spacer. And also, real quick, on my last set of 35s, I actually was running a 2-inch spacer for a while, and I never checked. I just told myself, hey, you know, I've got a 2-inch spacer, it's gonna be fine, but I never actually checked. But one day I did. I had the big gooseneck trailer hooked up, which is about 1,500 pounds of tongue weight, so that, you know, the truck definitely feels that. And I had looked with the 2-inch spacer, and the 35s were touching at the very bottom, which I was very surprised. So, you know, a 2-inch spacer on the rear of a truck that you tow with is not ideal. It's not my favorite thing to do. And that basically told me that I need to run, hey, I need to run a 2.5-inch spacer, or I need to run a 3-inch spacer. And that just didn't really sit right with me. I didn't want to space my wheels out any farther than I had to. So I just decided, okay, you know what? We're going to rotate the tires, and we're going to ditch the spacer, and we're just going to deflate and impact them together. And I had no problems with it after that. They were fine. So I know it's not a very conventional thing, and the internet will tell you that this is extremely dangerous, but I'm here to tell you that, well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you that it's not dangerous, because you can do what you want to do, but I run them like this. Plenty of my friends run them like this, who tow every single day, towing large equipment. So I'm not worried about it, but you can make your own choice. But had to throw that in there real quick, just a little disclaimer. So that's the tires. Tell me what you guys think. I think while I have you guys here, I haven't made a video in a while. I've changed a few other things on the truck, so I figured I'd give you a little update as well. So let's get right into that real quick. All right, so a little bit of a truck update. So first thing we're going to start with is here under the hood. So if you remember from an older video of mine, I never used to have a black valve cover. I painted it blue a long time ago, and every time I opened my hood, I just hated it. I hated the blue, so I was bored one night, had some tape, had some black spray paint, and took it off and taped everything up, which takes forever. Don't recommend doing it, but it looks good. Painted it all black, and I would like to do the same for the intake horn. I think I want to paint it black, or maybe that power-driven diesel red that they use on everything. I really like that red color. So, but yeah, I like that so much better. So that's one update I need to show you guys. Second update is around the backside here. So if you remember my exhaust tip video, anyways, I took this off and I put on a 5-inch turn down tip in hopes to make the truck a little bit more quieter on the road. I thought it was going to work out really well because it was quieter at idle. Turns out it was really, really droney at highway speed, which is where I wanted the truck to be quieter at, right around 2,000 RPM. That exhaust is just echoing off of the interstate, and it was just a lot louder in the cab. So this is still loud, but it's not as loud as the turn down, which I kind of like this look better anyways, but I was trying to make it quieter. So I think I'm going to throw a muffler on the truck and just be done with it. Also, guys, I will say this truck with these tires on it has turned, basically, as far as ride comfort goes, has basically turned my 3500 into a 2500. It makes the biggest difference, way bigger than I ever expected, as far as ride quality goes. You know, smaller bumps, you really don't feel them as much, and bigger bumps, it really takes it much better. There's a lot more, it seems like there's a lot more cushion, which makes sense. But just something I didn't expect. That was a pleasant surprise. So, you know, overall, for less than $500, you know, this thing looks so much better. It's so much more of a pleasure to drive, and you know, it's hard not to turn around and look at it when you park it. So overall, I'm extremely happy, and You know, if you guys like the way a truck looks now, you know, leave a comment. It's going to look like this for probably quite a while till the tires are bald. So, you know, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And, you know, if you're new, please consider subscribing. We're growing every single day. And that's it, guys. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.